the individual who sees that something is amiss in the world, sees also the opportunity to make it better, and who pulls up his or her socks, creates the venture, summons the resources, assumes the risk, and drives that venture unrelentingly to bring about change that she or he envisions so clearly, that's an entrepreneur. That's a social entrepreneur. That is a rare individual.
Hi there. Welcome to Social Entrepreneurship School. In this lesson, we'll be talking about market identification. According to a research, 42% of startups fail because of the lack of market need. If no one is buying what you're selling, you don't have a business. Market strategizing is a challenge for social enterprises. As a social entrepreneur is seeking to create a business to fill a gap in the market and serve a neglected community, they're often entering into a hybrid market that's unestablished and can't be researched quite the way a traditional for-profit can.
I guess I don't have much choice.
For example, before Boyan Slat started the ocean cleanup, most people knew that the world's oceans are polluted. At least 8 million metric tons of plastic is poured into the sea, and there's even a Great Pacific Garbage Patch. But they didn't feel like they could do much about it.
In the past, the story has always been, okay, we can't clean it up, so the best thing we can do is not make it worse. So, sure, we should prevent more plastic from entering the oceans, but that's not a solution for the plastics already trapped in these offshore gyres.
But that's not a solution for the plastics already trapped in these offshore regions. So he came up with the idea of a system that allows the ocean's currents to clean itself. Now his first float device has been launched from San Francisco, and more ocean cleaning inventions are popping up in the market. Social enterprises are supposed to be inherently altruistic, so it's easy to feel strange about concerning yourself with product sales and profit. But the bottom line is that the success of a social enterprise is measured based on the impact you can make in your community through the success of your business. The more successful you are, the greater the capacity for social good. In the case of social enterprises, the customer who buys the product or service may often not be the ultimate beneficiary of the product or service. An effective participant-focused marketing plan shifts the focus of your organization's business plan from being program-driven to being market-driven. Without the key bottom-line metrics that keep for-profit businesses on track, focusing on and understanding your participants may be the only way for a social enterprise to accomplish its mission. To help you figure out the right market for your venture, these are the 4 things you can think about. 1. What problem are you solving? Divide markets into groups of consumers or segments with distinct needs. Segmentation. Before you define your audience, you need to define the problem your social enterprise solves. Align your cause with your consumer. Take time to understand the issues your target audience cares about and insert your company into the conversation. To fully understand the needs of each of the target participants and payers for your organization, you should apply customer segmentation strategies, a key marketing tool for social enterprises. With a customer segmentation strategy, you'll be able to refine and deliver your product or service, establish the appropriate marketing mix, develop a pricing model that's appropriate to help scale your organization, considering both the needs and resources of both your participants and payers. Take a look at how Husk Power targets a distinct problem with a specific solution.
We set up a couple of plants and we figured that out. Once we got the technology working, we basically started working on the exact business model, the pricing and everything.
The system is village scale. The plants and overhead cables can be set up quickly and cheaply.
When you form one big station and you put out one big grid, then it just becomes a complex operation. The way to provide electricity to rural areas has to be through a small organization.
2. Create a customer persona. Identify market segments which you can function in most effectively. Targeting. You can't market to everyone, and you shouldn't. Trying to do so will only waste your time and money. Target marketing allows you to focus your resources and brand message on a specific market that is more likely to buy from you than other markets.
ふと巡り合った小学校の同級生ゴロちゃんの経営するダメスーパー正直屋に就職したからさあ大変たちまちスーパーの中が大騒ぎに巻き込まれます
It doesn't mean you're excluding people, but it does mean you can reach potential clients more efficiently and affordably. Basically, you want to figure out which fish in the ocean you're going to focus on catching. When defining your audience for social enterprises, you have to both define your customer and the community you impact. A traditional company only needs to understand their customer. Your target market can range from those who are willing to pay a premium for a socially responsible product, like Tom's, or those who are receiving a product at a reduced cost, like Grameen Bank. 3. Consider yourself a big fish in a small pond. In the world of the niche and highly personalized service offering, there's no harm in targeting a relatively small market. The smaller the pond you reside in, the larger your stature within it, and the more chance you have of staying one step ahead. However, don't start out by being ultra-specific either. Begin with larger groups that you think would be interested in your solution, and from there, you can slowly narrow down to a particular audience. Develop products and marketing messages to occupy a distinctive place in the minds of target customers. Positioning. For example, Zipline managed to position itself as the pioneering provider of a much-needed service.
Zipline designs, manufactures, and operates robotic aircraft that deliver medicine to people in hard-to-reach places and save lives as a result. We primarily work with governments, particularly governments in the developing world that often have challenges delivering medical products to people who live in rural or isolated communities.
4. If you're struggling, look internally. One way to decide on the right market for your social enterprise is to think beyond the product and instead focus on your organization. Think about how the skills inherent within your social enterprise might attract a particular audience that can benefit from these skills. Now that we've covered the basics of market identification, it's time for you to brainstorm some ideas of your own. Is there a market that's undiscovered but you think has potential? What kind of society impacts can the introduction of a new market in this area make? Tell us about your ideas in the discussion page.